How has he grown mentally?
Oh, I think more than anything, he's a guy that understands more about the culture of big league life. And he's so well-grounded. It's like you're not going to see a lot of difference maybe in the external side, but internally he's a guy that absorbs everything. He's a guy that wants to learn. He's very hungry. He's as humble as ever. But I think you're going to see a guy that is going to be well adapting to a big league style of how they pitch him. Playing a little more left field and playing next to another center fielder in Peter Borges. So he's a fun guy. No matter what year it is, what day it is, he's fun to watch.
Could the signings of Hamilton and the cameras on Trout help Pujols slip under the radar?
I don't think Albert's ever going to slip under the radar. I mean, Albert's Albert. He's been doing it for so long. He's been productive for 12 years now. But I think that Albert's surrounded now by Hamilton, who's been in the World Series. He knows the pressure of playing under the spotlight in Texas. He's surrounded by a Trumbo, a more mature Trumbo too. And Albert, I think Albert thrives on being the guy too. He did it for so many years in St. Louis, but there's almost like a complementing issue, one for the other. I think we might see a more patient Albert this year, perhaps, because of the issues he went through last year adapting to the American League, and admitting to the fact that he put a lot of pressure on himself early in the season. So he's going to be Albert. Albert's going to be Albert.
For the year 2013, who, in your opinion, is the biggest key to the Angels?
Well, I think it's going to be the guys that came aboard. It starts with the pitching. Replacing Santana and Herring is going to be, even if it doesn't seem all that big, it's going to be big. I mean, these guys were used to whatever was required here. But I'll say it's not going to be one guy. It's going to be, between Blanton, Hansen, and Vargas are going to be key to the Angels sustaining and maintaining, that level of play.
Real?
All right. So just a quick question. I know that Howie Kendrick has been criticized the past couple of years for having almost the big year and then falling short of it. What do you think about his coming year this year, and what improvements has he made to have that big year?
Well, Howie is the kind of guy that, we saw the 18 home runs one time and everybody thought, whoa, he's going to hit 25 next year. But that's not really his game. If he wanted to hit more home runs, he could, but he knows that that'll also get him into a prolonged slump. So with Howie, to me, the key is that he stays with his game, that he stays as focused as possible on using the middle of the field, and that he continues to grow. I mean, defensively, we don't give him enough credit. Howie does a good job up the middle, turning down plays. He and Eric Ibar are tremendous, and the way they work, I'm not surprised that he can play at that level. But I think Howie can still be better, in other issues. He's got to cut down the strikeouts. He's a guy that at times just starts chasing, so pitchers start, spreading the zone a little bit more. But that also comes with growth and maturing and knowing how they're going to pitch to you and adapting. Sometimes not being so jumpy, but just letting the count work for you and then use it.
Okay, and a Twitter question from Tyler Bailey.
Tyler Bailey, okay.
Tyler Bailey. Where in the rotation or the bullpen do you see that our pitching needs to be the strongest, or where its weaknesses are? What's your overall analysis of our 2013 pitching?
The bullpen has been strengthened because you have a Sean Burnett, a proven left-hander who is good against right-handers and left-handers. And then you have a Frieri that, coming into this spring training, he knew that he's going to be a late-inning guy. Whether he's a closer or not, we don't know. At least at the beginning of the season, he will be the closer. Now, it's up to him to take over that job. But you have a Ryan Madson waiting in the wings, trying to get healthy. That's a plus. To me, I think the issue is going to be, it's a luxury to have two lefties, with Scott Downs and Burnett. But those middle guys are important because a lot of times we pay so much attention to the setup guy and the closer, but a lot of games are lost in the middle. So that starter goes 100 pitches early, and you need somebody to bridge that gap, 6th or 7th inning to get you later in the game. So, a guy like Kevin Jepson is huge for the Angels. A guy that can come in and throw strikes, and then complementing him with Burnett, Downs, obviously, and having the ability to, have the luxury of two arms back there like Frieri and Madsen is going to be huge.
All right.
First off, happy birthday.
Thanks.
So Mike Scioscia is famous for his spring training antics. What has it been like this spring? And has there anything been new in the clubhouse or anything like that?
It's always fun with Mike, you know, even though I don't participate in those meetings, but the players always tell me, and it's like, my gosh, especially the newcomers, like, they've never been in a situation where a manager just kind of breaks everybody loose and lets players just kind of be themselves. He puts a lot of the young players on the spot just so they open up a little bit more. So nothing has changed. Mike is going to continue to do this as long as he's managing.
What does it mean for you personally, for one, going to Cal State Fullerton, and then two, staying locally and working with the Angels?
Oh, it's a tremendous blessing. I'll tell you what, I have the best of both worlds because I got to know more about Orange County by going to Cal State Fullerton. I know the love for their schools and, of course, the Titans and how much baseball is played there. I mean, good baseball. I mean, I remember even when I was in Fullerton competing against the junior colleges, man, it was rough spot. So I always say I have two big rings. I have the Fullerton and I have the Anaheim, so Orange County has been very good to me.
Very good. And we have a Twitter question from Marina Zeladon. How was it calling the World Baseball Classic games for your home country, Dominican Republic?
Oh, let me tell you, that's always a thrill to me, you know, to do the World Baseball Classic, and not just to call the Dominican games, but, you know, I've been involved with all three of them so far, and it's just watching the passion of these fans. I went to the qualifier in Panama and watching these Panamanian fans. I was in Mexico City in '09 and in San Diego. I've seen the Korean team, I've seen the Japanese team, I've seen every single team, the Brazilian team, and it's just fun to see how much they put into representing their neighborhoods, thinking about their friends, putting pretty much their life on the line by, you know, at a spot where to them this is the big leagues. You know, they're not going to get a chance like this ever again. So it's like for a lot of them, it's showcasing their talents. To maybe some scout can open up and sign them, but calling games like that, I don't think it's matched on any level because of the pageantry that comes with it, how loud they are from before they get into the ballpark, or the time they get into the ballpark, and the conga line, and I mean it's unparalleled. I mean, it doesn't even compare to a World Series.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Welcome.